We go. Hi, so good afternoon, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. I thought that it would be really cool if we do some videos, one a day, on two of the keys from our upcoming class, Living and Being the Total Keys to Total Freedom. And I'm re-listening to the telecall series that Gary and Dane did with us a few years ago, which has now since been transcribed into a book. And it's amazing, like you can how if you like redo telecall series or reread books, how you just go deeper and deeper every time and you get a deeper understanding of what it's really about. So I'm really enjoying re-listening to the telecall series, getting prepared for Saturday. And what I was thinking about is, like, what is it like for people who are perhaps not so familiar with the Access Consciousness tools yet, and haven't maybe done so many classes or calls, what a contribution this class can be to them. Because when I started Access, the reason why I started Access is I was actually trying to feel better about myself. I didn't feel that great about myself. I didn't like myself. I was depressed a lot of the time. I was very anxious and stressed, and just really looking for a way to have a happier life. I didn't realize that I was looking for consciousness. I just thought that it was some way of just making myself better. However, along the way, I've realized what I actually was seeking was to become more conscious. And what does that mean? It's actually different to positive practice. I did a lot of positive practice before Access, where it's like you've got to like always choose the positive belief or choose the positive thought or think positively. And if you didn't think that you were good enough, to keep on saying, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, in a way to try and override the I'm not good enough. But what I've found with that is it doesn't really work long term, because underlying that I am good enough, you've still got the energy of I'm not good enough. So although you're saying I am good enough, you're really reinforcing I am not good enough. So what I've loved about the Access tools is because they transform things energetically, you can get to that bottom underlying belief of I'm not good enough, and you can change it with the Access clearing statement and the tools. The reason why I've chosen the 10 keys to total freedom, and particularly now is the time for people to get empowered. There is a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. There's a lot of people have been affected in many, many different ways, some worse than others. And it's not about trying to decide who's worse off than someone else. We have all been affected. But if you can be given the tools to get through this period so that you can come out the other side more empowered, trusting yourself more, knowing that you know, and knowing that you can make choices that are going to create more for you in the future, that I would love that for you, that you do not have to be led down a garden path with the majority of people who are currently functioning from fear and doubt and overwhelm and stress and anxiety. So the 10 keys to total freedom are the keys that put you, can like reconnect you to you, the infinite being, that remind you that you know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and reminds you that you can have an awareness of the future and the choices that you can make that will create a greater future. So this book is amazing for that. um, just to get you to that space, that empowerment space, that you can empower yourself and your friends and your family if you choose, and if they choose to use them. So that was rather a long introduction. It was longer than I thought it was going to be. So there are 10 keys. The first two keys, the first one is, would an infinite being choose this? So here's the way you can use it. Would an infinite being choose fear? Would an infinite being choose doubt? Would an infinite being choose worry? Would an infinite being judge themselves? Would an infinite being make themselves wrong? So those are the questions you can ask yourself, and you can get an awareness of, if those are all no's, then you know for sure that you don't need to function from fear or doubt or from worry or anything like that. And then the second key is interesting point of view. So interesting point of view if you allow everything to be interesting point of view, where you're not making anything right or wrong or good or bad, there's no charge then on anything that you are reading or you're hearing or you're thinking. And that allows you that space to know that you know, because you're not distracted by the charge that you put on something when you make it right or wrong. So there's two like little tasters, tiny weeny little tasters of the first two keys of the book. And the class is on Saturday. We're going to start at 10 a.m. South African and European time and 11 a.m. Moscow time. And it's going to be a 4-hour class. And we will go through all 10 keys and learn how you can apply those keys to your life, to any part of your life, whatever's not working for you, whether it's the financial side, the relationship side, or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you can function and live and be those 10 keys, you will be able to navigate your future with more ease, and way more ease than what most people actually have the capability to do. So we'd like to invite you to our class, and watch out for our next two keys that we will talk about tomorrow. Bye.